Good evening and welcome to Beal Stadium in Marshfield. It's Marshfield Tiger football tonight on public access television. Along with Dale Yukaitis, I'm Gene Delisio, and it should be a great ball game this evening. The Tigers and a big-time powerhouse ball club, that Division II perennial power, Menomonie, coming in to open the season with the Marshfield Tigers this evening. And Dale, certainly a very, very auspicious debut tonight for Tiger football coach Denny Gadel, as Coach Gadel begins his head coaching career against a tremendous football powerhouse like Menomonie.
Well, we did our football special on Monday night on WDLB, and I teased Denny and I said, boy, there's nothing like starting with the cupcake. And he turned around, snapped his head around, and gave me a look, and he said, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm just kidding, Coach. 41-40 last year, a very strong performance by Menomonie in the second half after the Tigers took a big lead in that ball game, but Menomonie came roaring back with a lot of pride, and that's what this kind of ball game is about, Gene. It's about pride. Two conferences, two football programs that are very, very strong in the state of Wisconsin. And
to give you an idea of how strong these teams are, Marshfield has virtually no starters back from a year ago, aside from a couple of guys, Ross Hazerote and Ben Wartella, Dylan Ragey, a few other ball players. Dan Stanley saw a lot of action last night, last season defensively, but virtually no starters back on offense, aside from Jake Lysecki, who saw some playing time. And still, the Tigers, with almost a virtually new crew, ranked number 5 in the state in the preseason Division II football poll. That's how much respect people around the state have for this Marshfield program.
Both of these teams, primary programs in the state of Wisconsin. We're expecting a great crowd for this one tonight. No fair started yet. Yeah. It's kind of unusual. Usually we have the fair for our first ball game, so there should be a big crowd, a beautiful night. And Gene, it's time for the 2010 edition of the Marshfield Tiger football program under a new head coach.
And so let's get right to it. Marshfield Tiger football coming up next. Welcome you back to Beal Stadium in Marshfield for Marshfield Tiger football. This evening, the Tigers and the Menomonie Indians in their season opener, and we're just about set for football. A few minutes before 7, but the Marshfield Tiger kick return unit is on the field. The Tigers sending 2 men deep to receive this opening kickoff. Dan Stanley is 1 man going back deep, and he'll be joined by Jake Lysecki. Beautiful evening for football. Marshfield and Menomonie opening the 2010 football season against one another tonight. Menomonie kicking off from south to north here at Beal Stadium. And here is the opening kick. It's a line drive down the far sideline. Rolls around the 15-yard line, gets away from Stanley. He then picks it up around the 10, has no place to go, and he'll be stopped right there inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Stanley had a real tough decision to make there, as that knuckleball hit about the 15-yard line and then curved towards the sideline, and was it or wasn't it going to go out of bounds? And he had to make a decision because the Menomonie players were closing in quickly, and so Marshfield's going to start deep in their own territory. A very effective line drive knuckleball kick by Menomonie.
So the Marshfield Tigers' first possession of the season begins on their own 7-yard line. Tigers quarterback by senior Chris Stamen on first down. He will hand off to his fullback. That's Josh Shoup, straight ahead for about 2 yards to the 9-yard line. Not much further than that. Stopped just shy of the 10. It'll be a second down play now for the Tigers. 2nd and 8 at their own 9-yard line. Marshfield and Menomonie opening the 2010 football season against one another. Jake Lysecki, wide out far side, and Peyton Marshall, wide receiver on the far side. Backfield. That's Dolezal and Shoup in the backfield behind Elliott Ashbeck. And Elliott rolls near side, wants to throw, has some time. Now starts to run across the 10-yard line to about the 15 and stopped right there. The Tigers will alternate quarterbacks once again this year with Chris Stamen and Elliott Ashbeck. And so Elliott in the ballgame at that particular snap. He runs about 6 yards out to the 15-yard line. And that gives the Tigers a 3rd and about 2. Right on their own 15-yard line. Action just underway here at Beal Stadium. Stamen back in at quarterback. Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Stamen will throw. Quick slant far side, complete to Lysecki across the 20 to the 22. Stop there for a first down. Jake Lysecki, the Tigers' leading receiver, returning from a year ago, caught 12 passes for Marshfield last season, picks up about 8 on that pass play. A first down for Marshfield at their own 23. Action just underway. No score. The Tigers' first possession of the season. 1st and 10, Marshfield at their own 23-yard line. Dolezal and Shoup again in the I backfield. Wideouts on both sides. Ashbeck gives to Shoup. Straight ahead for a couple of yards. Stopped shy of the 25-yard line. Let's introduce the Tiger offensive line. The left tackle, Cody Schmidt. Left guard is Mark Posh. The center, Trevor Barth. Right guard, Brandon Sukamel. And the right tackle, James Bailey. Those hard-working offensive linemen saluted by Marshfield Utilities, because it's the linemen who help supply the power that makes it all work. Ball is on the 24-yard line. Second down, 2nd and 9, Marshfield at their own 24. Stamen back into play, quarterback. Looking at a possible blitz, and somebody may have jumped into that neutral zone. Flags flying before the snap.
Menomonie lining up in a odd man or 5-man defensive look, or an overshifted even look. I'll have to check that a couple times here, but a couple of linebackers were coming on the blitz, and they dove into the inside gaps near the guards, and I think somebody leaned over. Yes, they did, Gene. There's 5 for the Tigers.
Yeah, the ball moved down to the 29-yard line, and it will be 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4, Tigers at their own 24. Ashbeck back into play, quarterback. Brad Dolezal and Josh Shoup in the eye. And Ashbeck on the draw to Shoup. Not much running room. He can't get outside and stop behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard, maybe 2 on that play.
Gene, if you remember last year, the Tigers were up big at halftime, and it looked like it was going to be a Tiger blowout because Menomonie just wasn't ready to play. Well, they've come in here hooping and hollering. The crowd's been hollering from Menomonie, and they are fired up. They don't want a repeat of last year's 41-40 loss.
It's now a 3rd and 6 for the Tigers at their own 23-yard line or 27-yard line. Wideouts on both sides. Stamen back to pass. He lobs it near sideline and overthrows tight end Tyler Rollins. I'm doing an out at the 35-yard line. It's incomplete, and the Tigers will have to punt the football away.
Very good coverage on pass defense so far for Menomonie. The first bootleg pass in the previous series, and now this semi-rollout pass as well. Nobody open.
Sully Lipke on to punt the football away, but now Menomonie just changing personnel here, late-getting people on the field. Drew Otto back in deep safety for Menomonie along with Joey Neeb. It's 4th and 7 for Marshfield at their own 27. Lipke averaged 38.8 yards per punt last season, kicking from about his 15-yard line. Lipke gets a good snap, and he kicks one. It's a high floater. Fair catch called for by Neeb, who gets bumped by a Marshfield ball player. A Marshfield player, Dan Kinich, came down the field to play punt coverage, and he bumped the return man as he made the fair catch, and that will likely cost the Tigers some yardage.
Just got a little too close. Wasn't aware of his, these guys are all special teams players, also a little over anxious tonight, and there's a kind of a hair trigger atmosphere here tonight. You can feel it in the stands, just in the general atmosphere. This is one of the biggest games in the state tonight. There are a lot of big ones tonight, but they're marching off a big penalty here.
Yep.
Boy, he just barely bumped him.
Yeah, it's one of those calls where any touch at all was a 15-yard, like a face mask.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 or something like that.
Used to be, but now everything is 15. So the Menomonie Ball Club will start this series on the Marshfield 45. 3 minutes into this contest, no score. Menomonie with their first possession of the evening. Quarterback by senior James Nelson.
They huddle on the sidelines and sprint to the line of scrimmage. Power I.
Power I set. Here's a pitch play to Hoagland to the near side of the 40-yard line, and then Kinich takes him down on the 40-yard line. Pickup of 5 on that quick pitch to the near side. Joey Neeb and Isaac Hoagland, the running backs for Menomonie. They change a slew of personnel here.
Wow, almost a full unit.
And a new quarterback, Nico Stokey, comes in to play. Power I set once again with Aaron White, the tailback. He gets the call on second down to the 35-yard line, and breaking tackles in the secondary down near the 25-yard line.
White, the 6'1", 215-pound senior, and he ran through a number of tackles that time. He's a big, strong kid.
And he gets 14 on that play. A first down for Menomonie at the Marshfield 26-yard line. No score, 8:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Stocky stays into play quarterback. Power I set. And here's a pitch to Neeb straight ahead, but not much this time. He's stopped by the interior of the Tiger defensive line, led by Dylan Ragey. Right on the 26-yard line, no gain on that play.
You mentioned in our pregame, Gene, actually we didn't have a lot of pregame tonight, but a lot of starters, new starters for Marshfield both ways. I'm sure they're a little nervous tonight about their first varsity experience as starters.
Colin Jacott wide to the far side, 2nd and 10, handoff to Neeb, he fumbles the football. There's a pileup inside the 25-yard line. Tigers say they have it, and the officials say yes they do. Tiger football. Either Dylan Knitsch or Mike Shara got the football. I think it's going to be Knitsch, and the Tigers pick up the first takeaway of the ball game.
That pitch just too hard. It's a good thing he dropped that ball also, because he had 2 lead blockers in front of him going off right tackle. That could have been a big play for Menomonie had that pitch been completed.
But instead, the Tigers get the ball back on their own 24. No score, 7:40 remaining in the opening period. Chris Steeman into play quarterback. Dolezal and Josh Shoup in the eye. Steeman back to pass, pump fakes, starts to run now, gets hit and taken down inside the 20-yard line. Steeman stacked back around the 16, a loss of 8. And the first quarterback sack of the evening for the Menomonie defensive line.
Right now, Menomonie playing at a higher level physically than the Tigers. They overwhelmed the offensive line on that play. Steeman went back, took a couple steps. Probably also a little deer in the headlights look for him tonight. He started to run almost immediately.
2nd and 17 for Marshfield, just shy of their own 17-yard line. Padron and Marshall, the wideouts, eye backfield behind Elliott Ashbeck. Elliott hands off. Shoup looking for a hole. Fights his way for a couple of yards. Out to about the 18. That's about as far as he'll go.
No doubt about it. Ooh, now we've got a player down on the field too, Gene.
Marshfield ball player is down. That's right guard Brandon Sukamel. Brandon is down, and so medical personnel out to check him.
This Menomonie team has always relied upon being very physical. They line up in a power I on offense and don't get too fancy. They run a couple lead blockers at you on the corners and say, okay, you might have got us this time, but we're going to come back there and pound it again and again. And they also have a very tough 4-man defensive front. Usually it looks like a 5-man defense tonight.
And Tiger offensive lineman Brandon Sukamel being attended to by medical personnel. Meanwhile, we have a timeout on the field with 6:45 remaining in the opening quarter. No score here at Beal Stadium. We'll come back in just a moment.
So you're the new girl.
Yes.
That's cute. Go on in.
Mr. Felsnikov, thank you for overlooking my credit score. I was in college and I charged up a whole bunch of things that I really couldn't afford. Who knew employers checked that?
Hey, kid, I don't credit check you. You don't credit check me. Capiche? And sometimes it floods in here. You might want to start wearing boots.
Potential employers can check your credit. Don't let your bad credit put you in a bad job.
2nd and 16 for Marshfield at their own 18-yard line. Stamen playing quarterback. Lysecki and Padron, the wide receivers. Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Stamen wants to pass the ball, has time, lobs near side. Tyler Rollins can't hold it at the 30-yard line. Ball thrown a bit behind Tyler. He had to stop to make the catch, and when he tried to do so, he was hit by a Menomonie defender, and the pass is incomplete.
Rollins making the turn. The ball was already in the air. That ball catchable, a little bit behind him, but catchable. He would not have had the first down, however, had he caught that ball. He still would have been about 5 yards short of that first down marker.
And once again, Otto and Knee back in deep safety for Menomonie. The kick by Sully Lipke, a very good kick. And Otto on his own 45-yard line. Straight ahead to midfield, but no further. Pushed back right there by Ross Hazeroat. And the Menomonie Indians again have good field position. They'll start this drive on their own 49-yard line.
This is a team from Menomonie that relies upon a field position game, trying to pin their opponent deep, which they've been able to do thus far, and try to shorten that field because they do like to run the football over and over again. They will throw it. They're not entirely devoid of passing, but they like to run it.
6:25 remaining, first quarter, no score. Menomonie football just shy of midfield. And here's Nee pitching back to Stokey on a flea flicker. Throws down the far sideline and over the head of his receiver. Jimmy Benrue, the tight end, open along the far sideline. But Stokey's pass a bit too far, and the pass is incomplete.
They totally sucked in the secondary from Marshfield, a single safety back there. I believe that Stanley, he got, well, I shouldn't say that it was Stanley, but somebody at a safety position got pulled up, and that receiver was wide open.
Heimler comes wide to the near side. Power I on 2nd and 10 from the 49. Stokey on the reverse gives the ball to Drew Otto. Gets outside for a nice gain across the Marshfield 45 and taken out of bounds around the Tiger 40-yard line. Looks like he may have a first down with that run.
Menomonie able to pin our defensive end on our left side, the far side of the field, and they got outside for big yardage.
Looks like he'll be just shy of the first down, though.
Must have stepped out just a little bit before.
3rd and less than 1 for Menomonie at the Tiger 42 from the power I. The handoff goes to Neeb, and he's in the secondary. Crosses the 35 and pulled down by Knitsch at the 33-yard line, and that will be a first down for Menomonie.
Straight ahead power, nothing fancy.
Another 9 yards on that play. 1st and 10 for Menomonie at the Marshfield 33, halfway through the first quarter. And the Tigers and Menomonie are scoreless here at Beal Stadium tonight. Mike Shara back in to play defensive tackle. Menomonie stays tight with a power I. And Stokey pitches to Neeb. And he crosses the 30-yard line, carries down to about the 26.
Cutback run there, just a power off tackle that was started off the right side, and as he headed to the right side, Tigers were slanting somewhat that direction, and Neeb cut it back.
That's another gain of 7, so some nice runs for Menomonie, especially on first down. 2nd and 3 for the Indians at the Tiger 26. Wide out to the near side. Stokey pitches to Neeb. He gets hit in the backfield and spun down. Some good penetration on that play by Logan Schmitz, who slowed down the ball carrier. Then he was wrapped up by several other Tiger ball players on the play. Defensive end Trevor Peterson right there to put on the final hit for a loss of 1. That creates a 3rd down now for Menomonie. 3rd and about 4 at the Marshfield 27-yard line.
Boy, Menomonie changing 7 or 8 people, changing a lot of personnel every other play tonight.
Aaron White back in a tailback on 3rd and 4. Stocky hands to White off tackle. He pushes the pile inside the 25 to the 20 and taken down at the 19-yard line by Hazeroat and Stanley. And that will be a first down for Menomonie.
Boy, pushing the pile is right. He had to push 2 of his own blockers out of the way that got stood up by Tiger defenders and just powered his way for that first down.
1st and 10 Menomonie at the Tiger 19 with 4.5 remaining. In the opening quarter, no score. Once again, Menomonie changes quarterbacks, and James Nilsson comes in to play that spot. White and James Heimler in the backfield. It's White off tackle and gets hit by Hazeroat, stopped after a short gain.
Slow pull by one of the offensive linemen also that got in the way of Neeb as he was trying to look for the hole.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for Menomonie at the Tiger 19. Stay with us tonight for our Drive of the Game, sponsored by Driver Education Academy of Marshfield, supporting champion athletes and developing champion drivers for a lifetime of crash-free driving. Power I shifts to the far side. There's a pitch play to Neeb, trying to turn that far corner. Cuts it back inside to the 15 and wrestled down right there by a couple of Tigers. Sully Lipke and Mike Shara in on that stop. But another nice gain for Menomonie. That brings the ball inside the 10 to the 9-yard line and gives the Indians a 1st and goal.
The Tiger defensive end on the left side doing a nice job stringing that play out. That was Arndt, but he got no help from pursuit on the inside.
1st and goal now for Menomonie at the Tiger 9-yard line. Indians threatening the first score of the evening. White back into play tailback. Hand off to White, straight ahead, gets hit at the line of scrimmage, pulled down by Hazerote. Got some help there from some other Tiger ball players, and virtually no gain on the play. Sophomore Ross Zillman in there to play linebacker. He helps on that tackle as well. 1 yard on that play. 2nd and goal for Menomonie at the Tiger 8-yard line. Stokey again playing quarterback. White at tailback. The power back shift. Pitch play to White coming to the near sideline. Hit by Reggie and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good job by big Dylan Reggie to shake his blocker. And then Stanley and Trevor Peterson come over and make the hit at the 9-yard line, a loss of 1. So that sets up a 3rd and goal for Menomonie at the Tiger 9-yard line.
Well, they've had more success going to their right than they have in the couple times they've gone left tonight. So let's see what they decide to do here. That's also the wider side of the field right now. Ball just left of center.
James Nelson back in at quarterback. Hands to Neeb. Straight ahead.
Reggie.
Pulled down by Reggie at the 6-yard line.
Reggie showing to be a big force in there on the right side of that Tiger defense.
And so that sets up a 4th down play for Menomonie. It's 4th and goal for Menomonie at the Tiger 6-yard line. And Nelson waiting for a play, but first Menomonie wants time. Menomonie will use its first timeout of the first half with 2:04 remaining in the first quarter. We have no score here at Beal Stadium. We'll come back in just a moment. One spot. We'll have further details on Central Wisconsin sports on our On Sports program coming up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on AM 1450 WDLB. We are late in the first quarter, no score, but Menomonie threatening. It's a 4th and goal for Menomonie at the Tigers 6-yard line.
See, Lee Weigel has returned at least for tonight to the Tiger sidelines, helping out this year with Denny Gadel.
He was over at the scrimmage as well at Black River Falls, maybe doing some part-time coaching for Marshfield. Colin Chicot wide far side. 4th and goal Menomonie at the Tiger 6.
Unbalanced.
Stocky will pitch to Neeb. Straight ahead. Gets hit and pulled down shy of the goal line. He won't get there. Stopped around the 3-yard line.
Menomonie came out and tried to run an unbalanced line to the right side and just did not get there.
So a 12-play drive stalls out on the Tiger 3-yard line. The Marshfield Tigers get the ball back. Marshfield football on their own 3-yard line. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, no score. But the Tigers keep Menomonie off the scoreboard with that stop.
New offensive coordinator Paul Fagan has had his hands full with field position tonight. Again, Tigers very, very deep in their own territory at their own 3.
Chris Stamen at quarterback. Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Peyton Marshall goes through in motion. And Steeman hands off straight ahead. Not much there for Dolezal, who was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost a yard on the play.
It's the fullback trap up the middle. Not trying to get too fancy, just trying to push out and get some yardage. Try to get the first down, but certainly give yourself a little better room to kick if you have to on 4th down.
It is going to be 2nd and 10 for Marshfield, just shy of their own 3-yard line. Peyton Marshall to the near side. Jake Lysecki far side. The official is calling time. Brad Dolezal with a helmet issue. And he may have to leave the ball game. He will take off and he'll be replaced by Sean Weber in the fullback spot.
I'm not sure where the clock is going to be at here now as far as starting the clock. Tigers going to have to re-huddle with a new man coming in.
Elliot Ash back in at quarterback on 2nd and 10 from the 3-yard line. I formation. Elliott back to pass from the end zone. Lobs it down the far sideline for Lysecki, and it's intercepted. Threw it over Jake's head and intercepted by Eric Bessie, who goes down right away around the 27-yard line.
That ball just thrown up down the sidelines on a one-on-one pattern, but Lysicki not able to get behind the defender, who stayed in his back pedal, did a real nice job of playing the football. In fact, Lysicki didn't even see the ball till the last second, got turned around a little bit late.
And that puts the Menomonie offense back on the field. They have the ball at the Tiger 26. No score with 1:10 remaining in the opening period. On first down, there's a pass across the middle to the tight end Jaycott, who carries inside the 15-yard line and dumped right there at about the 11-yard line by Justin Sternweiss.
A little slow screen to the tight end over the middle, kind of a jailbreak screen where the linemen let their men through and then take off and form a wall downfield.
And that gives Menomonie a first down at the Tiger 12-yard line. Menomonie has had good field position throughout this contest. The Tigers have held them off the scoreboard thus far. First and 10 Menomonie at the Marshfield 12. There's a handoff straight ahead to Hoagland, grabbed from behind by the Tiger linebacker Justin Sternweiss and pulled down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Hoagland for about 4 on the play. Second and 6 for Menomonie at the Tiger 8-yard line with under 30 seconds remaining in the opening period. Stokey playing quarterback once again. Neeb back in a tailback. Power back shift. Here's a pitch play. Neeb to the far side. Spins inside the defensive end and gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Neeb scores from 8 yards away to cap a 3-play, 26-yard scoring drive, and Menomonie leads 6-0.
Tiger defensive end on that play shed his block and had a chance at least to make some contact near the line of scrimmage, but let that offensive running back go right inside of him untouched.
So Menomonie has the early lead. And Nick Didier now comes in to attempt to kick the PAT. Ball is down, the kick is away, high enough, the kick is up, and it is good. 13 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Our score, a service of the Sports Den of Marshfield. Menomonie 7, Marshfield nothing. We'll return with more football in just a moment.
When I'm under, I don't breathe. I'm weightless. My heart races. I'm floating away. And when it's over, all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. By spending time coaching, he helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Kickoff a service of Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. Didier kicking off with just 13 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And Marshfield down by 7. Lysicki and Stanley back in deep safety for the Tigers. The kick is away, line down the far sideline. Bouncing to Stanley on the 6, up the far sideline, 15-20, across the 30, pulled down around the, push back now to about the 27-yard line. And that's Marshfield's best starting position of the night. They've started their previous drives on the 7, the 24, and the 3.
Marshfield looking a little tentative, especially on offense tonight. Not getting off the ball so far real well. And this Menomonie team outplaying Marshfield so far at the line of scrimmage. But again, a lot of new people on the field for Marshfield this year.
First and 10 Tigers at their own 26. 7 seconds left in the period. Chris Steeman playing quarterback, gives to Shoup, trying to find a hole, gets hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. He'll lose a yard or 2. And that play will end the first quarter of football here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Our first quarter score, a service of the Sports Den. South Central Avenue in Marshfield. It's Menomonie 7 and the Marshfield Tigers nothing. Second quarter action in just a moment. the dominant ball club here so far tonight. They lead 7-0 as we start the second quarter at Beal Stadium. Marshfield has the football at their own 25-yard line, 2nd and 11.
That first down play there by Marshfield, Marshfield's line came off and stood up at the line of scrimmage. They're not getting their pads down. I'm sorry to be so negative right now, but that's just the way it is. Marshfield just not the aggressor on this football field so far.
Stamen playing quarterback on 2nd and 11. Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Rollins tight end on the near side. Stamen with a long count, now pitches to Shoup, trying to turn that far corner, cuts it back upfield across the 35 and stopped right there. Good job by Josh Shoup, one of the Tigers' longest runs of the evening. He'll pick up 10 on that run.
We've seen some good blocking fullbacks for the Tigers. This time they've got a state wrestling champion out there, Dolezal, with a nice block on that one that helps spring Shoup for that yardage.
And the Tigers in a makeable situation here, 3rd at about 4 feet at their own 35. Padron near side, Lysecki far side, Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Ashbeck at quarterback, gives to Shoup straight ahead. He gets hammered and stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, he got hammered and the Tiger offensive line went backwards. Wow.
Shoup will lose a yard on that play. 4th and 2 for the Tigers at their own 34. Looks like Marshfield will have to punt the football once again. Lipke on to kick to Drew Otto and Joey Neeb. Good snap to Lipke. Has time, kicks it away. Fair catch called for by Neeb at his own 33-yard line. Menomonie takes over at their own 33. They lead 7-0. 10:47 remaining in the opening half. Our boomerang touchdowns this season, sponsored by Festival Foods and their Boomerang 3. Every decision they make is based on bringing you, the customer, back to their store. That's Festival Foods, North Central Avenue in Marshfield.
Paul Fagan, the offensive coordinator. Randy Hartwig, the offensive line coach now under head coach Denny Gadel. A number of other changes we'll get to throughout the game.
1st and 10, Menomonie at their own 33. It's White tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage and falls forward to about the 36-yard line. White gains about 3 on that play. Yeah, there are a lot of changes here, and again, Lee Weigel back helping out as a running backs coach. Good to see Lee back here.
Justin Sternweiss getting through with nice penetration on that play, Gene.
2nd down now for Menomonie. It's 2nd and 7 for the Indians at their own 36-yard line. Stocky at quarterback. And here's a counter play to Otto. He gets hit at the 40-yard line and stopped right there as Knitsch and Trevor Peterson combine on the stop at the 40. A gain of about 4 on that play.
That football sliding down his pads a little bit as he was going off tackle, but he was able to grab onto it as he was running to that far side of the field.
Tigers get Mike Shara back in the ball game to play in the defensive line. It's 3rd and 3 for Menomonie at their own 40-yard line. Power eye set for the Indians. They shift to the far side. Pitch play to Neeb, and he gets hit near the line of scrimmage. It looks like though he does have the first down as he falls forward to the 44. Neeb will pick up 4 on the play, a first down for Menomonie at their own 44-yard line. 9:30 remaining in the first half, and Menomonie leads Marshfield 7-0.
I have Menomonie for 7 first downs already in this ball game.
They've moved the ball pretty well. Colin Jacot comes out wide to the near side.
Balanced line again.
And here is the fullback Hoagland straight ahead, but not much this time, as Hazeroad collapses that hole with some defensive linemen. Looks like the other linebacker, Sternweiss, there as well, and only gained about 1.5 yards on that carry.
For fans at home that don't understand some of the terminology, an unbalanced line means you move a lineman from one side to the other and put an extra lineman to the right or left side. So you, in essence, have 4 blockers on one side of the center.
Now a 2nd and 8 for Menomonie at their own 46. Inside handoff to Otto again. He has a lot of running room down the far sideline and caught by Knitsch in the open field from behind the Marshfield 40-yard line, saving a possible touchdown, but that is a first down for Menomonie.
Trap play, just starting off to their right side and handing off to the wing back or their power back in that power I offense, coming back off left end. A nice pull block there by one of the Menomonie players, Ben Donovsky.
And a first down from Menomonie at the Tiger 40-yard line. They stay tight once again. And the handoff goes to Neeb, off tackle to about the 35, picks up 5. Running between the tackles again, Dan Stanley and Ross Hazeroat once again make that hit after a 5-yard gain. Menomonie has been very patient on the ground, very effective. Hazeroat now leaves the lineup. 2nd and 5 for the Indians at the Marshfield 35-yard line. Menomonie with a power I set again, and the quarterback Stokey keeps it and carries outside across the 25, down the far sideline. It gets away from Lipke and carries all the way down to about the 10-yard line.
Well, I was wondering when they were going to pull that out of the bag of tricks. It's a play that they run a lot, where the quarterback fakes the ball one way and then turns, and he himself runs a counter play to the opposite side. This time Menomonie pulling their right guard and tackle. A lot of teams call that a counter tray. You see it a lot in the NFL, but they usually hand the ball off to a fullback or halfback to run it.
And a gain of 24 for Stokey, a first down for Menomonie at the Tiger 11-yard line. White back into play, tailback. Nelson gives to White, straight ahead to the 5-yard line and fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And leaving a lot of black shirts in his wake.
Ran right over Sully Lipke to cap an 8-play, 67-yard scoring drive, and Menomonie leads 13-0.
Ran over Sully Lipke, but their offensive line ran over the defensive front for Marshfield.
So the Menomonie Indians looking very, very impressive so far in tonight's ball game. New PAT man Tyler Knotts will come in. Excuse me, he's the holder. Didier is the kicker. Ball is placed down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is up and through. And we have 7:56 remaining in the second quarter. Our score, Menomonie 14, Marshfield nothing. We'll return in just a moment.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little piggies ready to play. The big pig is Pedro. Pedro Piggy. He's the big piggy.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Kickoff a service of Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. Didier kicking off for the tie for the Menomonie Indians once again. Wysecki and Stanley back in deep safety for Marshfield. Here's the kick, a line drive. Down the middle, grabbed by Dolezal on the 25-yard line, trying to get to the near sideline. He does to the 40. Dolezal the 50-yard line, and upended inside Menomonie territory.
Good job by the Tigers of setting up a wall to this side. At first, I thought it was going to be too far for Dolezal to get there, as he caught that ball near the right center of the field, but came all the way back near this near sidelines. Good job on special teams.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have perhaps a timeout, officials timeout, a water break, I believe. So a timeout on the field, 7:37 remaining in the second quarter. Menomonie leads 14-0. We'll come back to Beale Stadium following these messages.
Let's go, hurry!
Dude, why is your mom driving us to MetalCon?
Remember when I bought us all snowboards on that credit card and never paid it back? Well, I guess they check that stuff out when you apply for a car loan.
Afterwards, we'll all go out for ice cream.
Don't let your credit put you in a bad place. Go to controlyourcredit.gov.
Chris Stamen playing at quarterback for the Tigers. Goes into the shotgun. On 1st and 10, he'll hand the ball off on a wide receiver revert to the 40-yard line down to about the 38-yard line. That's Jeremy Robinson with his first carry, but there's also a flag down on the play.
It was after the tackle, Gene. It was very late, so we may have something right there on the point of contact.
It's a holding call on Marshfield.
Must have been right there at the play, because that call made by the official on the far sidelines as the ball carrier was going down. He probably saw something behind the play. Probably got a little help from that Menomonie bench as well.
Robinson going in motion, then taking the handoff and continuing to the far side of the field. He got about 7 yards on the play, but it looks like that play will come back. And the ball moved back to the 50-yard line, where it will be 1st and 14. Tiger football right at the midfield stripe. 1st and 14. Ashbeck back into play quarterback. Marshall and Padron on the near side. Lysecki wide on the far side. Ashbeck in the shotgun. Shoup next to him. Elliott gets the snap, retreats to pass the ball. With time, flings it near side, caught by Rollins at the 45-yard line, and tries to run over a tackler. Can't do so. He stopped at the 44 and gained 6 on the play. Tyler Rollins, with 4 catches as a junior tight end a year ago, makes his first catch of the season and picks up 6. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at the Menomonie 44-yard line. Lysecki near side. Padron and Marshall on the far side, and Stamen now in the shotgun. Rollins, the tight end, on the far side of the formation. Good snap. Stamen back to pass with time and lobs across the middle. Flags down again, and the ball dropped by Marshall on the 35-yard line.
That'll be a holding call. That was thrown by the umpire tonight, Gary Skerhut.
It is holding on Marshfield. By the way, Brandon Sukamel, who was helped off the field earlier this evening, the Tigers' starting right guard, is back in the ballgame.
Our officials tonight are Tim Tower, Gary Skerhut, Keith Kobachek, Don Skopinski, and Mike Munson. They're from the Antigo, Wausau, and Roselleville area.
Important to get that Roselleville in there.
You betcha. I think that's where Gary's from.
I think so.
In that area.
Yeah.
Gary Skerhut does a lot of baseball umpiring in the area. Going to offset.
Yeah, we have holding calls on both ball clubs. So each team guilty of holding on that play. The penalties will offset, and so we will replay 2nd down. It will be again 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Just inside the Menomonie 45-yard line. Lysecki near side. Marshall and Padron wide on the far side, and Elliott Ashbeck in the shotgun. Gets the snap, fades the pass. Here's a blitz. Can't get away. Taken down back at the Marshfield 47. Couple of Menomonie players converge, led by defensive end Cody Christensen, and the Tigers will lose about 9 on that play.
Linebacker Brent Stout also in on the play. He's been very active, a 6'2", 217-pound senior. 2nd
Menomonie sack of the ball game presents the Tigers with a 3rd and 17 at their own 47. Stamen comes back into play quarterback. Lysecki and Padron to the far side. Peyton Marshall wide on the near side along with Austin Littman. And Stamen in the shotgun on 3rd and long. 3rd and long, that's correct. Stamen gets the snap, but there's a flag down before the play.
Going to have movement on Marshfield.
Yep, illegal procedure on the Tigers. And the Tigers move further backwards. This drive began for Marshfield after Dolezal's fine kick return on the Menomonie 46. They're now back at their own 42-yard line. Stay with us for our halftime stats this evening, sponsored by Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. For numbers that matter the most to you, see Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice.
Well, let's see what new offensive coordinator Paul Fagan has for a 3rd and 23 call. Yikes.
I'm sure he has a lot.
I'll betcha.
There's Lysecki on the near side. Padron wide far side, and Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Ashbeck is up under center. Elliott drops back to pass. and comes near sideline. The ball caught by Lysecki, who forced out of bounds at the Menomonie 46. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Tigers gain 12 on that pass play. However, it's going to be 4th and 10 for Marshfield at the Menomonie 46. So Sully Lipke comes back in to punt the ball from his 40-yard line. Neeb and Otto drop back in deep safety for Menomonie. Good snap. And Sully kicks it away, a high kick. Bounces inside the 10, inside the 5, and into the end zone for a touchback. Menomonie begins their next series on their own 20-yard line, 5:50 remaining in the second quarter. And Marshfield trails Menomonie 14-0. Please stay with us for our block of the game tonight, sponsored by Sternweiss & Sons and their block division, 400 East Arnold Street in Marshfield. Menomonie Indians on the attack. They've scored on their last 2 possessions. They run out from the sidelines into formation with Nico Stokey at quarterback. Power I set. About 4 guys changing spots. They let up 3 guys wide on the far side. And Stokey on the draw to Neeb, sidesteps some tacklers and gets outside to the 25-yard line and pulled down at the 30 by Hazeroat. Several Tigers had a good shot at Neeb. They could not bring him down. He gains about 10 on that play.
Tigers coming hard on the pass rush and just couldn't get themselves back under control as that ball was handed off on the draw play, and Neeb able to slide away from some tackles in the backfield because the Tigers were over pursuing.
And that is a first down for Menomonie at their own 30-yard line. Nelson comes back into play, quarterback in a tight formation. He'll give to Aaron White, who gets hit by Dan Stanley, but powers his way across the 35 to the 37. Aaron White, 6'1", 215, and quite a powerful, strong young man, running over the much smaller Dan Stanley, who's about 5'10", 165. Dan hung with him and held into a gain of 7.
Well, we know Dan's a big hitter, and there were 2 other Tigers actually hanging on to White on top of that, and Stanley gave him his best shot, but Neeb still able to fall forward, or White, excuse me, able to fall forward for that extra yard or 2.
It's a 2nd and 3 for Menomonie at their own 37. Stokey playing quarterback. Tight formation. They shift their power back to the far side and drop the snap, and Stokey falls on it at the 35-yard line just before Dylan Ragey can get there. That will be a loss of 2. So Menomonie now faced with 3rd and 5 at their own 35-yard line. The Tigers have a chance here to make a defensive stop. White coming back in the ball game, replacing Neeb. Tigers with 2 junior defensive ends this year, Trevor Peterson and Alex Art. Mike Shara and Dylan Ragey, the defensive tackles. Ben Wartella is the nose tackle. 3rd and 5, Menomonie at their own 35. And Stokey keeps the ball himself, doesn't get far. Good job, I think that was Hazeroat from the offensive backfield who tripped up Stokey going through the line, and he falls forward for no gain. So 4th and 5, Menomonie at their own 35-yard line. And Brad Dolzal heads back into punt formation or single safety to receive a possible punt here. Lex Pilkey will punt this ball away for Menomonie from his own 25. High snap, he pulls it in and kicks it away. A very, very high kick. Dolzal back at his own 23. Heads for the far sideline across the 30, pulled down around the 33.
42-yard kick. Tigers only had 10 people on the football field for that kick return.
Well, not only 42 yards, Dale, awfully high.
Yeah.
Looked like one of your chip shots.
No, don't think so. People are ducking all over the place on the golf course when I'm out there. They kind of clear in 9 holes when I play. Oh, no.
Protecting their shins.
Yeah, Dale's out here again. Oh, brother.
1st and 10 for Marshfield at their own 34. 3:23 left in the first half. Tigers trail 14-0. Chris Stamen playing quarterback. He's in the shotgun with a double slot. Chris takes the snap and hands the ball off to Shoup. He goes nowhere. Pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Josh will lose about 2, maybe 3 on that play. Nothing doing there for the Tiger offense. And the ball's back at the 31, 2nd and 13.
Said it before, say it again. Going to get redundant. We're just getting manhandled at the line of scrimmage. Our line is not getting off the ball right now at all. They're standing up, getting pushed backwards.
2nd and 14 Tigers at their own 30. Elliot Ashbeck playing quarterback. He's in the shotgun with a double slot. Gets the snap, fades to pass, fires far side, up the seam to Eden Padron, who makes the catch and carries out to near midfield for a first down.
We have a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage back here on this sideline.
Yes, we do, right along the sideline.
Yep.
Hard to see. Right, just inside the sideline.
It was thrown just before the snap. Oh, sideline warning. Yep. Sideline warning, okay, well.
That's an 18-yard pass play to Padron. The Tigers warned on that play to stay back away from the sideline, so it's not a penalty. I believe, Dale, they would get a penalty if they're warned again. Yep. So a first down for the Tigers on the pass play to Padron. 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 49 with 2:20 remaining in the first half. Menomonie leads 14-0. Steeman in the shotgun, fades the pass, far side, a low throw, but caught by Lysecki at the far sideline on the 43-yard line. Went to one knee to make that grab. Lysecki makes the catch, picks up 8 on that pass play. Tigers now in Menomonie territory, 2nd and 2 for Marshfield at the Menomonie 43, 1:55 remaining before halftime. Marshall and Padron to the near side.
Tigers taking a lot of time to get in and out of the huddle under 2 minutes here.
Elliot Ashbeck in the shotgun. Back to pass, gonna go deep to the near sideline for Padron, makes the catch but then can't hold on. Drops the ball on the 25-yard line.
Just dropped it. No other way to look at it.
Ian could not hold on. The pass falls incomplete. And it looks like Menomonie may want a timeout here. Menomonie coaches coming onto the field, and the Menomonie Ball Club uses its second timeout. 1:39 remaining in the second quarter. Tigers trail 14-0. We'll return in just a moment.
2 words for you. Pop quiz. Ready? Name any funny movie. A drama. Name a mystery. And one more thing. Name the movie your kids saw today in science class.
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school. And know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Stay tuned at halftime. Our special guest, the new executive director of the WIAA, Dave Anderson. That coming up at halftime of our ball game this evening. Tigers face with 3rd and 2 at the Menomonie 43-yard line as we resume play.
Tigers with 38 yards of offense thus far in the first half, and Menomonie over 160.
Tigers huddling up. Chris Stamen back into play quarterback. Marshall and Littman to the near side. Lysecki and Padron on the far side on 3rd and 2. Stamen in the shotgun, gets the snap. Looking to pass the football across the middle. A low throw, incomplete. Too low for Peyton Marshall, just inside the 35-yard line. He was open, but Steeman's toss was too low. It's incomplete. And the Tigers will likely punt the football here on 4th and 3 at the Marshfield, at the Menomonie 44-yard line. Sully Lipke comes in to punt the ball. But first, Menomonie wants timeout. Menomonie will use its final timeout of the first half. 1:35 remaining, second quarter. Menomonie on top, 14-0. Back to Beal Stadium following this message.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat? That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
Marshfield Tiger volleyball team in action this weekend, today and tomorrow. The Tigers are at the Sun Prairie Invitational. Columbus Dons volleyball team plays tomorrow at the diocesan meet at Chippewa Falls McDonald, starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tigers in a punting situation, 4th and 3 for Marshfield at the Menomonie 43-yard line. Sully Lipke on to punt, nobody back for Menomonie. And now the Tigers may want a timeout. Marshfield takes timeout. Coach Gadel perhaps concerned about a possible punt block. So the Tigers take a timeout, although the coaching staff waving the Tiger players back onto the field. And now the Tiger coaching staff coming out to talk with their players. So still 1:35 remaining in the second quarter. Marshfield trailing 14-0. Back with more football right after this.
Dimes are shiny and round. Nickels are also round. Dollars are not round. Dollars are rectangles. What can I buy with 2 rectangles? A bus ride. You're right. Good job, honey.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
Tigers send the offense back on the field. 4th and 3 at the Menomonie 44. Ashbeck at quarterback, fakes the handoff, rolls near side. He'll run himself across the 40-yard line, but stripped of the football, and Menomonie has it back. Ashbeck had the first down, but a Menomonie defender reached out, knocked that ball loose, and grabbed the football at the Menomonie 37-yard line.
Well, good move by the Marshfield coaching staff. A last-second shift. They shuffled their punt team off the field, ran the offense on. Ashbeck on a bootleg pass found himself open for the first down. He had it easily by 4 or 5 yards, but as he was going to switch the hands and cut to the outside, the ball stripped away, and a nice defensive play by Menomonie.
So Menomonie has the ball on their own 37, 1:27 remaining, second quarter. They're on top 14-0. They have no timeouts left, but their offense is back on the field. And Stokey wants to run the ball himself. He gets hit by a couple of Tiger defenders at the 41-yard line, pushed back right there. That's Logan Schmitz, the first man to hit him at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
Also taken down by his own offensive tackle on the play.
Always can count on that guy to help you out.
Yep.
2nd and 6 for Menomonie at their own 41. Clock moving, 1:03 remaining in the second quarter. Menomonie is out of timeouts. Wide out on the near side, that's Jacon. And Nelson back to pass, going deep down the near sideline for Jacon. He overthrows him. Incomplete, one-on-one with Dan Stanley along this near sideline. Incomplete pass. And that sets up a 3rd and 6 for the Indians. There's also a flag down on the play and a holding call on Menomonie. Our post-game report this evening, sponsored by Hudson's Classic Grill, next to the tracks on Central Avenue in Marshfield. The sports fans' post-game discussion destination. That's Hudson's Classic Grill, the hosts of our wonderful high school football coaches preview show Monday evening here on WDLB and WOSQ. Had a lot of fun over there on Monday night. Yardage will be marked off here against Menomonie on the holding violation, and the ball goes back to the 26-yard line.
Second penalty on Menomonie for 15. Marshfield has been penalized 3 times for 30 yards. Also 1 penalty. Well, here you go, Gene. 2nd
and 21. Menomonie shifting, sending 3 men wide to the far side. Stokey at quarterback. On the draw, hands to Need, gets wrapped up in the backfield, though, by defensive end Trevor Peterson, and actually lose a yard on that play.
Marshfield's going to want to call a timeout, I'm sure.
Tigers do take a timeout. They're second of the first half. 43 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Tigers trailing 14-0. Back to Beale Stadium in just a moment.
Foster care. Just being there makes all the difference.
Wisconsin football fans, Roselleville's Rich Seibert back on the football field this weekend. Rich has been sidelined and away from the New York Giants offensive line due to a broken wrist, but he will be back in action Saturday night when the Giants face the Baltimore Ravens in a preseason contest. Rich will be in there for about 25 snaps, so good to see Rich Seibert is on the mend. He should be playing this weekend in the Giants preseason game against Baltimore. 3rd and 21 coming up for Menomonie at their own 25-yard line. Stokey wants to run the football himself on that quarterback draw. He has some room across the 35 to the 40-yard line, and he may have the first down out near midfield.
Yes, he does, by 5 yards.
Menomonie running the ball on 3rd and 21, and they pick up the first down. A 25-yard run for Stokey. It's a first down for Menomonie just inside the 50-yard line. And the Indians have time to strike once again. 34 seconds remaining before halftime. Menomonie leads 14-0. The clock starts to run once again. Menomonie is out of timeouts. Tight formation. Stokey at quarterback. The Indians shifts and 3 men wide to the far side. And Stokey drops back, looks like a middle screen, and it's caught by Jimmy Benru, the tight end, who carries inside the 35-yard line, tripped up at the 34.
Nice play by that Tiger defender who actually split 3 blockers downfield. That was Lipke.
Clock down to 13 seconds, stopped as the chain gang moves. 1st and 10, and Stokey will spike the football, and there's a flag down. Illegal procedure against Menomonie on that play. The Indians were not set apparently. So that'll cost them 5 yards, and the ball comes back to the 39-yard line. Time for a couple of more plays. 11 seconds remaining before halftime. 1st and 15 Menomonie at their own, at the Marshfield 39. 3 receivers on the far side. Again, Stokey spikes it. Now with 8 seconds remaining. And the Indians apparently looking to set up one final play here. Don't often see back-to-back spikes, but we just saw it there. The other quarterback, James Nelson, comes in for the Indians. They'll send receivers on the near sideline. Blake Bauer, Colin Jacott, and Drew Otto. We'll see if Nelson throws the ball into the end zone here. 8 seconds remaining before halftime. Menomonie now turns. They want to huddle up.
The officials now signal to the scorekeeper they want a couple seconds put back on the clock.
Okay.
Back to 10 seconds again. They say 1 second ran off.
So 10 seconds remaining before halftime. Menomonie actually could get 2 plays off in this situation. Those 3 receivers to the near side. Nelson drops back to pass. He throws towards the near sideline, and it's knocked down. Sully Lipke knocked it down. He and Logan Schmitz collided, and it looked like Sully might make a pass interception, but Schmitz collided, and Sully lost the football.
And Sully coming back across the field. If he picks that, he had a lot of green grass out here in front of him. But that will give, as you mentioned, Gene, Menomonie another shot at the end zone here.
So it's 3rd and 15 Menomonie at the Tiger 39. 6 seconds remaining before halftime. Jacott wide to the near side. Wideouts on the far side as well, and some offensive line movement. The left guard, Ryan Haviland, jumps a count early, and that brings the football back to the 44. So 3rd and 20 from the 44. Still 6 seconds remaining before halftime. Could be the final play of the half. Jacott to the near side. Blake Bauer wide far side. Stokey at quarterback, and he wants to run himself, but gets hit by defensive end Trevor Peterson and stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and that play will wrap up the first half of football. A very impressive first half for the Menomonie Indians. By the way, we did have a sophomore game this evening prior to the varsity contest, and Marshfield won the sophomore game 41-0. The Tigers led 34-0 at the halftime break, and so they were quite dominant in that sophomore contest. But this varsity ball game going the other way as Menomonie has the edge here at the halftime break. Marshfield Tiger football on WDLB, a service of Filker Brothers Corporation of Marshfield, manufacturers of stainless steel products They support all youth sports and activities. Participation in high school sports builds character and teamwork. And Filker Brothers of Marshfield supports the youth of Central Wisconsin. We're at halftime here at Beal Stadium. Please stay with us as WIAA Executive Director Dave Anderson joins us for a halftime talk. Our halftime score, a service of the Sports Den, South Central Avenue in Marshfield. It's Menomonie 14 and the Marshfield Tigers nothing. Back with our halftime program in just a moment. Marshfield Tigers trail Menomonie 14-0 as we open the second half of football here at Beal Stadium. Our second half kickoff sponsored by Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. Gus Utek kicking off for the Tigers. Joey Neeb and Drew Otto back in deep safety for Menomonie. The kick by Utek. End over end kick sends Neeb back to about the 5-yard line. To the near sideline, the 10, the 15, and gets away from some tacklers and reverses his field and carries out to near the 25-yard line. Nice shifty moving by Joey Neeb, and Menomonie has the football on their own 25 to open the third quarter.
Neeb picking up an extra 10 yards after running through a couple of arm tackles. Neeb, a very strong runner, very strong upper body, ran through a couple tackles there.
So the Menomonie offense back on the field. 1st and 10 Indians at their own 25 as we open the second half. Marshfield trailing Menomonie 14-0. James Nilsson playing quarterback on this play. They have a power I formation with Joey Neeb as the tailback. And Neeb gets the call on first down, breaks some tackles, and carries to the 31-yard line. And stopped there by linebacker Justin Sternweiss, one of 3 juniors on the starting defense. Sternweiss along with defensive ends Trevor Peterson and Alex Arndt, starting juniors tonight. Pick up a 6 on that run by Neeb. 2nd and 4 Menomonie at their own 31-yard line.
Again, a defensive lineman, Mike Shara, was into the backfield and missed a tackle. Neeb shaking him off.
Drew Otto comes into play, tailback. Now he shifts into a wing. There's an inside handoff to Otto. He spins away from some tacklers again, carries across the 40-yard line, then spun backwards. But he should have the first down on that run out to about the 41.
Menomonie's only run about 3 plays, well, 4 plays with a 1 fullback trap at power off tackle left, power off tackle right. They run a counter to their power back and a counter to the quarterback. That's about, well, a few pass plays as well, but they've been very basic, very simple, power oriented as they always are on offense. 10
yards on that run. 1st and 10 Menomonie at their own 41 early. Third quarter, Menomonie leads 14-0. Stokey back to pass here. With time, now he'll take off and run across the 45-yard line, and he flings the ball forward. He lost the football, and Ross Hazeroth falls on it. Almost looked like he was attempting a shovel pass, but the officials ruled that a fumble, and Hazeroth falls on it at the Marshfield 46-yard line.
Well, so far, Gene, there's our collision of the game as Dan Knitsch forcing that fumble with the nice open field tackle on that play.
That is the Tigers' second fumble recovery of the ball game, and the Tiger offense back on the field. 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 46 early third quarter. The Tigers trail 14-0. Chris Stamen at quarterback, Brad Dolezal and Josh Shoup in the eye. Jake Lysecki, one wide out. It's Dolezal, the fullback, straight ahead for no gain. Got pounced on at the line of scrimmage and stopped immediately. And again, the Tigers having a very challenging time attempting to run the ball tonight.
The success that the Tigers have had so far have been from that pistol type or short shotgun type offense that they've been running, throwing the football, running the ball. It's just been very, very tough right now.
Lysecki to the near side. Padron flanked on the far side. Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. 2nd and 10. Ashbeck pitches to Shoup, trying to turn the near corner. Can't get outside. Cuts back to the inside, but will be spun down behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll lose about 5.
See where they mark his forward progress. Looks about the 42, so it is a 4-yard loss. And brings up a 3rd and 14 for Marshfield at their own 42. Dolezal and Rollins leave the ball game, and so the Tigers may go to a double slot here. Lippman and Marshall wide near side. But first, Menomonie wants timeout. Menomonie will take its first timeout of the second half. 9:45 remaining, third quarter. And Marshfield trails 14-0. Back with more football in just a moment.
That's it.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
We have our insurance points of the ball game this evening, a service of Randy Lemoyne, your American Family Insurance agent in Marshfield. 3rd and 14 coming up for Marshfield at their own 42-yard line.
TJ Van Tassel now, Gene, playing some tailback for the Tigers, actually got the carry on that last play.
Stamen back into play quarterback. Double slot formation on 3rd and long. Van Tassel a tailback. Stamen gets the snap. Drops back to pass, has a lot of time. Now throws the ball into the ground in front of Van Tassel on the far sideline, incomplete.
Trying to set up a screen pass, but Menomonie held 3 people at the line of scrimmage, thinking screen all the way, and trying to hit Van Tassel on a short little screen after an inside handoff, but Menomonie smelled it out, played good defense.
And so the Tigers going to take advantage of the fumble recovery by Hazeroth. They'll have to punt on 4th and 14. Sully Lipke on to kick the ball away, gets a good snap, and kicks a high kick. And Otto lets this bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, and covered right there. I believe that was, let's see who that was who got down there. Looks like the first man down there is Dan Kinich. And Menomonie has the football at their own 5-yard line. So a great job by Sully Lipke.
53-yard punt. Got another punt of 46 tonight as well to go with that.
Menomonie ball, 9:30 remaining, third quarter. Tigers trailed this ball game 14-0. Tiger football, a service of Marshfield Bus Service. If you're planning a trip, get out of town with Marshfield Bus Service. 1st and 10 Menomonie from their own 5-yard line. Stokey playing quarterback. White into play tailback. And it's White straight ahead. Breaks a couple of tackles to the 15-yard line and tripped up nicely by Lipke. Otherwise, that would have been a bigger gain than it was, but he carries all the way out across the 20-yard line on that first down run. And that gets Menomonie away from their own goal line. A run of 15 for Aaron White and a Menomonie first down.
Tigers had a couple people in the hole at the line of scrimmage, but White ran right through them.
Well, 1st and 10 Menomonie now at their own 20-yard line. White and Stokey both leave the ball game. And Nelson back into play quarterback with Neeb as the tailback. Power back shift to the near side. And here's a fake handoff. Nelson throws down the far sideline and over the head of everybody, almost intercepted by Sully Lipke, who was playing some pass defense on tight end Garrett Anderson. And Nelson's pass was too far. Lipke got a hand on it but could not corral it.
Nobody fooled there. 2 defensive backs actually back for Marshfield, one underneath and Sully over the top. trying to pick that ball off, ball a little bit over his head, reaching back, but he'd tell you, probably should have had it. He's a good athlete.
Tigers already have forced 2 turnovers this evening, as has Menomonie. 2nd and 10 for Menomonie at their own 20-yard line. White back into play, tailback. Stokey gives to White, has a nice hold-off tackle, then he gets hit by Stanley and gets some help, I believe, from Hazerote, and pulled down after a very short gain. About 2 yards on that run. Ball's at the 22-yard line, maybe the 23. So a 3rd and 7 coming up for Menomonie. Third and 7 Indians. Tigers want to make a stop right here. Stokey playing quarterback. Inside counter here is Otto, and the Tigers smell this one out nicely. A short gain on the play. Hazerote reads it and drops the ball carrier. Got some help as well from Trevor Peterson. And Otto stopped on the 26. He'll gain 3, but it's 4th and 4 for Menomonie. And the Indians apparently will have to punt the ball away once again.
Marshfield getting used to the play calling here now, and the plays of Menomonie. They haven't been running a lot of them, so that time doing a very nice job sniffing out the counter.
Brad Dolezal to accept this punt. Kick is away, a very high kick, but not real deep. In fact, towards the far sideline. Now it takes a hop inside the 50, inside the 45, and covered by Menomonie at the Tiger 43-yard line. Marshfield football on their own 43.
31-yard punt, Gene.
Tigers trail 14-0, 7:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tiger football, the service of allmarshfield.com. You can watch video highlights of tonight's ball game on allmarshfield.com. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 43. Slot I formation. Stamen up under center on this play. Looks to throw quickly to the near sideline, dropped by Lysecki. Jake open to the 50-yard line, just ran before he caught the football.
He probably would have had about a 3-yard gain on the plays. There was a Menomonie defender right there ready to wrap him up. But again, just as you said, ball hit him right between the 2 and the 3 on the jersey.
There's Peyton Marshall back in the ball game, coming in with new quarterback Elliot Ashbeck. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield. Joel Hitchcock, our producer, with Dale Yukaitis. I'm Gene Delisio. Ashbeck in the shotgun on 2nd and 10 from the 43. Gets a good snap, has time, throws across the middle behind Marshall, incomplete at the 50. Marshall opened on that play, but the pass thrown behind him, and he could not come back and make the catch.
Marshfield quarterbacks have had some time to throw out of that short shotgun or pistol type set in the backfield, but just have not been able to. Well, I shouldn't say they haven't been able to connect with receivers. The quarterbacks have had a couple wide open receivers drop balls tonight as well.
3rd and 10 for Marshfield at their own 43. Padron and Marshall to the near side. Lysecki on the far side. Stamen in the shotgun. Chris taking his time, gets the snap, back to pass, throws far side, and as he throws, the pass incomplete on the far sideline. Stamen rushed heavily and got hit by linebacker Josh Wimmer as he threw the football. It falls incomplete. And so a 3 and out for Marshfield.
Marshfield lucky they have a quarterback there, as Stamen was back to pass, and outside linebacker came on a blitz for Menomonie, and nobody picked him up. Stamen got drilled right in the back.
And Sully Lipke on the punt again. High snap over Sully's head. He'll go back to the 15-yard line, now try to run with the football, and he swarmed under at about the 10-yard line. Now there's a real backbreaker for the Tigers. A poor snap over Lipke's head. He has to retreat back to the 10-yard line to grab the football. And Menomonie puts the ball in play at the Tiger 10-yard line. 7:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marshfield trailing 14-0, and now Menomonie with a very good scoring chance. Ball is just outside the 10. They'll put the ball officially on the 11. Stokey at quarterback, Hoagland and White in the I. It's White straight ahead. He gets tripped up, falls forward for about 2, maybe 3. Defensive line making a good stand on that play. Shara right there, along with Reggie. And White put down on the 9-yard line, gains 2. 2nd and 8 for Menomonie at the Tiger 9-yard line.
Joe Neeb with 64 yards and 13 carries, 65 for White in 11 carries.
It's quite a tandem they've got going there.
Yep.
Hoagland and Neeb in the eye on 2nd and 8 from the 9-yard line. Stokey gives to Neeb off tackle, and he runs over some tacklers and carries inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. Neeb will be, I believe, a yard shy of the first down, maybe a yard and a half. 3rd and less than 2 for Menomonie, just inside the Tiger 3-yard line. Menomonie back in a power I, and the ball fumbled by the quarterback Stokey. There's a pileup there at about the 4-yard line, and the Tigers say they have the football, and they do. A poor snap, and the Tigers fall on the football.
Wow.
What a break for the Tigers. A bad snap, and Marshfield gets the ball back. The Tigers' 3rd takeaway of this ball game. There's a big break for the Tigers, but they do have very poor field position. They'll have the football on their own 4-yard line, but they avert another Menomonie score. Tiger offense back on the field, 6:17 remaining, 3rd quarter, and Menomonie still leading this ball game 14-0. Tigers want to take a timeout here to get their offense set. Timeout, 6:17 remaining, 3rd quarter. Menomonie leads 14-0. We'll return in just a moment.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
Well, to match your pretty eyes.
Nope, not even close. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue is the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By age 12, too many girls lose interest in math and science and their chance at future jobs. Keep her interest alive.
You know why mathematics is the basis of life as we know it?
You tell me.
It's her future. Do the math.
Well, the Tigers avert a 3rd Menomonie score by recovering that poor snap. But they do have the football deep in their own territory. Once again, our extra points this evening, a service of Wheelers of Marshfield. If you need that extra car, see their line of great certified used vehicles at Wheelers on Marshfield's south side.
Chris Steeman coming on the field late. A long discussion between the head coach Denny Gadel and Paul Fagan as far as what play to call before that last series, and the ball had been marked ready to play. Steeman got on the field late. Tigers needed to take a timeout.
1st and 10, Marshfield at their own 3-yard line. Dolezal and Van Tassel in the eye. Steeman throwing from the end zone to the far sideline, and just over Padron's head. We may see a flag here. We'll see 2 of them. As Padron was grabbed as he went high for the football. Looks like we'll have interference here on Menomonie.
Yeah, I would hope so. The defender back there grabbed the Tiger receiver around the hips on the play.
So a 15-yard walk-off here against Menomonie. And that should give the football to Marshfield out near the 20-yard line. Marshfield and Menomonie football action tonight here at Beal Stadium. Glad to have you with us for our coverage of this ball game this evening on WDLB and on WDLB WOSQ.com. It's 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 19-yard line. Elliot Ashbeck now playing quarterback. Lysecki near side, Padron on the far side, Dolezal and Van Tassel in the eye. Ashbeck at quarterback. Elliott turns, fakes the handoff, rolls near side, has time, now throws across the middle, incomplete. He had Rollins at the 30-yard line, threw the ball by him too high.
Rollins came across on a tight end drag pattern, as you usually do, from the right side to the left here in the secondary, as I look at the Tiger defense from behind. And Rollins thought he had an open area and kind of stopped. And I think Ashbeck felt he was going to keep on going, which is usually what the tight end does there. Quarterback expects his tight end to keep running.
Double slot again for Marshfield on 2nd and 10 at their own 19. Steeman now in the shotgun. Might be changing the play here, yelling some instructions to both sides of the field. Gets the snap, and rolls it out near side to Dolzal or to Van Tassel at the 25. Breaks a tackle to the 30, run over at the 31 by Otto, but he should have the first down on that quick hitch pass.
Nice balance there by Van Tassel. Could have gone out of bounds back at the 25-yard line, but was able to spin, keep his balance. Took a big hit as he was still somewhat off balance, lunging forward, but hung on to the ball. Tough kid.
And Tassel missed much of last season due to injury, had 2 rushing attempts for 15 yards, and that's his first pass reception. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 30. Tigers down 14-0. 5:40 left, third quarter. Ashbeck in the shotgun. Back to pass, near side, hits Marshall, who coughs up the football. It's going to be ruled incomplete. Marshall had the football, then took a hard hit from defensive back Brent Stout and lost possession. The pass play is ruled incomplete.
Good throw, just couldn't hang on to it. Took a pretty good hit from behind.
Creates a second down for the Tigers, 2nd and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Rollins and Dolzal back in. Tigers also take out Brandon Sukamel, their guard, who has been banged up a little bit this evening. On the right side. Lysecki near side. Padron wide on the far side. Dolzal and Van Tassel in the eye. Steeman back to pass again. Going deep down the far sideline and throwing the ball over everybody's head. Exhibiting quite an arm, but well past Padron along the far sideline, incomplete.
On the pass that he threw, I believe it was Steeman that threw the pass where Marshfield drew the pass interference. Coach Fagan and Denny Gadel were indicating to him that they wanted to get the ball up in the air and lead the receiver. And so
he sure did.
Yeah, Van Tassel's just going to have to learn there a little bit. That's just an experience. That's all. The other thing that receivers, the quarterbacks have to learn is they're looking right at the receivers every play, just staring them down.
Lysecki to the far side. 2 receivers near side on 3rd and 10. Ashbeck in the shotgun. Gets the snap, looks to pass, quick slant to Lysecki. He has it at the 40, out to the 42. That'll be enough for a first down.
Ashbeck getting that ball and spinning it to get a good grip on it, but then put the ball up high and firing it. He is a pitcher on the Tiger baseball team, but also a catcher, which his father, Al, feels might be his best position on the baseball field. He threw that one like a catcher. Get it up high, get rid of it quick.
And that gives the Tigers a first down on their own 42. Tigers trail 14-0. 5:15 remaining, third quarter. Steeman now in the shotgun. Back to pass. With time across the middle for Littman. And a great catch by Littman as he slides down inside the 45-yard line of Menomonie. Grabs it at about the 42. An outstanding play by Austin Littman for the first down.
Audie, not a real big guy, but he made the sliding, diving catch. Another baseball player, a second baseman for the Tigers, and he looked like he was making the diving tag at second base on that one.
That's 17 yards on that pass play to Littman. A Tiger first down now at the Menomonie 41. Here's Ashbeck back in the ball game, up under center. Dolzal and Van Tassel in the eye. Ashbeck wants to pass across the middle. Rollins there. The ball tipped, though, and intercepted. It's picked off by Tyler Knotts of Menomonie, heading down the far sideline to midfield and tossed out of bounds right there. Knotts makes a pass interception on a deflected ball, a tipped ball, and the Tigers' most successful drive of the evening is stopped by the Menomonie defense.
Rollins had gone down the field about 12 yards beyond the stakes, turned around, ball was right there. It was just over the top of his head. It's very catchable, but couldn't grab it. Fortunately, the ball was also high when he missed it above his head and right to the safety, standing right there. Thank you very much.
Third Tiger turnover tonight. Second interception. 1st and 10 Menomonie at their own 48. 4:37 left. Third quarter. Menomonie leads 14-0. Handoff goes to Neeb across the 50, 45, bouncing outside and tripped up at about the 35-yard line of Marshfield.
I think actually lost his balance.
Yeah, he may have done
trying
that.
to make a cut back to the middle. Now we see another player on the field. This one, a Menomonie player, grabbing for.
That's
In
Neeb.
fact, that's Neeb. Yeah, he went down like he had a foot injury. He got cramps there. He just went down on his own.
He gains 18 on that play. A first down for Menomonie at the Tiger 34-yard line. Tigers down by 2 scores, but Menomonie has the ball again. Stokey at quarterback. He hands off to White, off tackle. Runs over some tacklers again, then gets pounded down by Schmitz and Peterson. Back at the 32-yard line. He'll gain 2 on that play.
Nice.
Tigers look like they're starting to get a bit more physical here in the second half.
Josh Greer coming up and putting a nice hit on him on that one.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for Menomonie from the Tiger 32-yard line. Power I set. Drew Otto now a tailback. He gets a pitch straight ahead, breaks a tackle, carries down to about the 27 and is stopped right there. Otto picks up 5. And the Tigers would like a stop here. It's 3rd and 3 for Menomonie at the Marshfield 27-yard line.
Well, Marshfield defense, one of the bright spots tonight. They've given up 14 points, but also have forced 3 Menomonie fumbles. The last time inside the 5-yard line, stopping which would have been the 20th and possibly 21st points of this ball game.
White now into play tailback. The handoff, though, goes to the fullback Hoagland, who stumbles and falls down right on the 25-yard line. And he'll be shy of the first down by about a yard. They mark him down just inside the 26. It's a 4th down play now. The Tigers looking for a stop here. 4th and 1 for Menomonie at the Tiger 26-yard line. Tiger defensive line looking to dig in, but first Menomonie wants time. Menomonie takes its 2nd time out of the second half. 2:50 remaining, 3rd quarter. And Menomonie leads 14-0. We'll return right after this. "30 seconds again. 30 seconds. Stay with us during our post-game report for our Drive of the Game, sponsored by Driver Education Academy of Marshfield, supporting champion athletes and developing champion drivers for a lifetime of crash-free driving. 4th and 1 for Menomonie, just outside the Marshfield 25-yard line. Big play right here. Tigers want the ball back. They'd like to keep Menomonie off that scoreboard again. Indians break their huddle. They line up on 4th and 1. Power I backfield. Neeb back in a tailback. Stokey with a long count. Now turns, pitches to Neeb, coming to the near sideline, strung out. He's going to be hit, but spins away and gets the first down along the near sideline. And in fact, carries inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he was hit 3 yards back in the backfield, would have been dropped for a 3-yard loss. It would have been Tiger football, but again, Neeb shows his ability to run through tackles and left 3 tacklers on the turf on that play.
And Neeb winds up gaining 7, a first down for Menomonie at the Marshfield 19. We have 2:40 left in the 3rd quarter, and Marshfield trails 14-0. White back into play tailback. Nelson at quarterback. It's White straight ahead. He's going to go nowhere. Runs into big Dylan Ragey and stopped after a very short gain. Maybe 1 yard on that carry, not much more. 2nd and a long 9 for Menomonie at the Tiger 18-yard line. Menomonie has looked very good tonight, especially between the tackles.
268 yards rushing thus far.
Now Colin Jaycott going out wide to the far side. Neeb in the eye, and the Indians shift on 2nd and 9. And a flag goes down before the snap. No, it's a timeout. Menomonie wants another timeout. And this is Menomonie's final timeout of the second half. Timeout Menomonie, 2:02 remaining, 3rd quarter. Menomonie on top, 14-0. Back for more football right after this.
I'm looking for a wallet.
Ah, celebrating high school graduation.
No, I dropped out.
啊，星啊，呢個友仔要買荷包啊！
係佢樣，阿碌碌好似馬騮星咁。
係啊，真係可惜啊！中學都畢唔到業。
我翻嚟啦。係。
Isn't it a little small?
Go to OperationGraduation.com.
Any questions?
No.
You know.
We're not magicians, we can't read your mind.
We need your questions, each and every kind. Will this react with my other medicine?
Hey, what are all these tests even for? Questions are the answer.
2nd and 9, Menomonie at the Tiger 18-yard line. Here's a pitch play, Neeb cutting back to the inside of the 15, the 10 to the 5-yard line and ridden down there. Some nifty running by Joey Neeb through the Tiger linebacking core and into the secondary. And he'll gain 13 on that play to give Menomonie a 1st and goal.
And goes over 100 yards rushing tonight with 109 for the evening.
1st and goal now for Menomonie. Ball is on the Tiger 5-yard line. 1:45 left, 3rd quarter. Tigers trail 14-0. White back into play, tailback.
Unbalanced
Nelson
line.
at quarterback. It's White hit from behind. He falls forward to about the 2, maybe 3-yard line.
Menomonie switching with 4 people now on the right side of the center that time. Powering to that side as well with an overbalanced backfield. Power eye as well.
Menomonie now with the football on the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal from that spot. White in a tailback. Hoagland the fullback from the eye. And Stokey, the quarterback himself, dives forward and gets in for the touchdown. Nico Stokey goes the final 2 yards for the score to cap a 9-play, 52-yard touchdown drive, and Menomonie leads it 20-0. And the pass interception by Knotts sets up that Menomonie score. Didier back on to attempt a PAT. Ball is down and the kick is not made. Stotts has the football, throwing in the end zone for the 2-point play. Knotts throwing in the end zone to Jimmy Benrud, and the 2-point play is successful. Looked like the snap was fumbled, and so Knotts tossing in the end zone to Benrud, and Menomonie extends its lead. 58 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Menomonie now on top, 22-0. We'll return for more football in just a moment.
Kid, we got school, yo. I see you in the window, man. You want me to do? I got the bus here, man. I got connections. We holding up traffic. Let's go. I'm not letting you waste your life like that, yeah.
Our Menomonie kickoff, a service of Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield. Stanley and Lysecki back in deep safety as Nick Didier kicks off for Menomonie. Here's the boot, short end over end kick. And the ball's fumbled by a Marshfield player, picked up inside the 15 by Lysecki, heading for the far sideline, breaking a couple of tackles across the 25 and stopped around the 28-yard line.
Boy, I give Lysecki a lot of credit as a man in the second lineup from the back there receiving the kick from Marshfield, missed the ball over his head and then just didn't turn around and go get it. And Lysecki came back from the other side of the field, picked it up, reversed his field, and made something out of nothing there.
So the Tigers put the ball in play at their own 28-yard line. Final minute, 3rd quarter, and Menomonie now leads 22-0. Chris Stamen comes into play quarterback. He's in the shotgun. It's a double slot formation for Marshfield. Robinson now comes through in motion. Stamen back to pass. Has time, going deep down the near sideline for Robinson, over his head and incomplete. Closest man to the football was the defensive back Eric Bessie on the near sideline.
Well, one thing we've learned tonight is Chris Steeman has a very strong arm.
Yes, he does.
He's threw that about 45 yards in the air with just a flick of the wrist.
Second down now for Marshfield. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 28-yard line. Ashbeck now in the shotgun. Double slot formation. Elliott gets the snap, fades to pass. Looking near side, the ball batted down by a charging defensive lineman. It's incomplete. Brent Stout coming in from linebacker. Got a hand up and knocked that ball away.
And Stout has had a very stout night tonight as well. We've called his number multiple times. Very aggressive out of that sometimes defensive end, sometimes linebacker position.
Sets up a 3rd down. By the way, you can see video highlights of this ball game and all Tiger games on allmarshfield.com. That's allmarshfield.com. 3rd and 10 Tigers at their own 28-yard line. Double slot once again. Stamen back at quarterback in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Back to pass. Looking to the far sideline and throws an interception. Along the far sideline, the ball picked off by a Menomonie man who cut in front of the receiver. The ball picked off by John Wyatter, who cut in front of a Tiger receiver to make that pass interception.
Well, that's something the Tiger quarterbacks will learn. I mentioned earlier they've been going back to pass and immediately looking right at the intended receiver or in the area of the intended receiver, and that's some inexperience as far as varsity time. They'll learn that as the season goes on.
Menomonie offense back on the field. They have the football at the Tiger 38-yard line. And Nelson drops back to pass. Has time, now throws to the near sideline and right through the hands of a receiver, Blake Bauer, at the 23-yard line, incomplete. Menomonie has not thrown a whole lot tonight. 2nd down now for the Indians, 2nd and 10 at the Tiger 38.
I've got them 2 of 7 on the evening for 30 yards.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter here at Beale Stadium. Colin Jaycott to the near side. Hoagland and White in the eye. And Stokey, the quarterback, will keep it across the 30, 25 to the far sideline. He stiffs arms Lipke, heads for the far sideline to rid out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Finally tackled along the far sideline by Logan Schmitz, but Stokey, with that quarterback keeper, has another big gainer. And the Menomonie 1st down deep inside Marshfield territory. Ball spotted down, I believe, at about the 7-yard line.
Menomonie running that little quarterback counter play a little further outside this year, like a counter tray. Last year they would just, the last couple of years, fake it to the fullback and then cut off the opposite guard. This time running it wider.
1st and goal, Menomonie at the Tigers 7. And here's White straight ahead, but not much there. Reggie knocks him down on the 5-yard line.
Another bright spot tonight. We've seen Dylan Reggie close down the one side of the defensive line, offensive line at times. Some nice plays.
And that play ends the 3rd quarter here at Beale Stadium. Our 3rd quarter score, a service of the Sports Den, South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Menomonie 22, Marshfield nothing. And 4th quarter action in just a moment.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Let's go! Hurry! Metal gun! Metal gun! Metal gun! Metal gun!
Why is your mom driving us to Meadowcon?
Remember when I bought us all snowboards on that credit card and never paid it back? Well, I guess they check that stuff out when you apply for a car loan.
Afterwards, we'll all go out for ice cream.
Don't let your credit put you in a bad place. Go to controlyourcredit.gov.
Fourth quarter about to begin here at Beale Stadium. Marshfield trailing Menomonie 22-0, and Menomonie in position to score once again. They have a 2nd and goal at the Tiger 5-yard line. Big crowd on hand tonight watching Marshfield Tiger football. Menomonie well represented at the ballpark this evening. Stokey back into play, quarterback on this play. He fakes the handoff, gives to Olsen on the counter. He gets run down from behind by Dylan Ragey and stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Good penetration as well by defensive end Alex Arndt. No gain on that play. 3rd and goal, Menomonie at the Tiger 5-yard line.
Arndt staying home that time, doing a nice job and fending off a block and then diving inside to help get on the tackle. Doing a nice job there.
Timeout being taken. Menomonie coaching staff coming on the field, and we've already got them for 3 timeouts, but they're taking timeout again. They must have missed one somewhere along the way, or maybe Joe Labuda gets 4 timeouts. Could be, that's the case. We're early in the 4th quarter here at Beale Stadium. Timeout on the field. Menomonie leads 22-0. We'll return in just a moment. $30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Menomonie has the football on the Tiger 5-yard line. We understand that one of the earlier timeouts that we credited to Menomonie was a Marshfield timeout, so this was indeed Menomonie's 3rd timeout. 3rd and goal Indians at the Tiger 5-yard line, and Stokey wants to run the ball himself and goes absolutely nowhere as Hazerote and Peterson nail him outside the line of scrimmage at about the 8-yard line.
Stokey slammed down hard there also, gets up holding on to his face mask, a little slouched over as he's heading off the field. Took a pretty good hit.
It's 4th and goal Menomonie at the Tiger 8-yard line. And it looks like Didier may try a field goal here. They may line this up around the 15, so this would be a 25-yard field goal try for Nick Didier. Tyler Knotts is the holder. He's thrown for 1 PAT conversion this evening. Low snap. Knotts will pick the ball up once again, start to run, turn to the near sideline, and running once again with Tigers in pursuit. He gets hit around the 10-yard line and thrown down right there. There is also a flag down on the play and a holding violation against Menomonie.
Almost impossible not to get caught for a hold when there's that much running around in the backfield. You're going to end up on the wrong side of a block sooner or later, grabbing somebody.
Well, Marshfield will decline that penalty and take over on downs. Tiger football early in the 4th quarter. Marshfield trailing in this ball game 22-0. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450. WDLB Marshfield and on WDLB WOSQ.com. Joel Hitchcock is our producer. With Dale Yukaitis, I'm Gene Delisio at Beale Stadium in Marshfield. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 9-yard line. High backfield behind quarterback Chris Stamen. And a Tiger player stands up early. Illegal procedure coming here against Marshfield. Sean Weber now playing fullback. TJ Van Tassel is at tailback. Tigers cited for illegal procedure, so the ball goes back to the 4-yard line. And it will be 1st and 15. Lysecki wide out far side. Padron on the near side. Weber and Van Tassel in the eye. Stamen up under center. And here is another flag down. Again, a Tiger player moves early. Now the ball goes back to the 2.
Long snap count there. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the quarterback was possibly calling the hole at the line of scrimmage, or maybe even changing a play to try to, it was a pretty big gap over right guard there.
Now Ashbeck comes into play quarterback. Tigers also, I believe, have changed center, and Sukamel is now into play center. Sukamel has moved from guard to center. 1st and 17 Tigers on their own 2. Here's Van Tassel with a nice hole across the 10-yard line out to the 12. Todd Van Tassel runs out for about 10 yards on that carry. Tigers have had very few carries of any length tonight. That's a good one there. Officials calling timeout again. And a Marshfield man slow getting up. That
cramp.
Yeah, that's Sean Weber, the Tiger fullback.
Cramp or ankle.
And so he'll be helped to the sidelines. Looks like we may have another water timeout here. The officials might be calling a timeout here. We have 10:30 remaining in the 4th quarter, and Marshfield trails Menomonie 22-0. Let's take timeout for these messages.
This is fine. Thanks.
Mrs. Johnson, good to see you again. This is Mike. You can trust him. He looks just like you.
I'll be sucking up to you in order to make you sign the loan.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this is really just here so that we get your house when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
Predatory lenders are never this easy to spot. Call us and protect yourself with the facts.
Tigers have a 2nd and 7 at their own 12-yard line. Dolezal and Van Tassel in the eye behind Stamen. And Stamen gives to Van Tassel again. He's going to get outside across the 15 to the 20 to the 30-yard line. Cuts back inside to the 50-yard line and inside Menomonie territory. A big gainer for Todd Van Tassel. A first down for Marshfield inside Menomonie territory.
Well, we've heard that some of these 2nd and 3rd tailbacks that the Tigers have some pretty good wheels behind Shoup, and that time Van Tassel's showing it.
He gains 40 yards on that run. A first down for Marshfield at the Menomonie 48, early 4th quarter. Tigers trail 22-0. High backfield. Shoup back in a tailback. Ashbeck back to pass. Throws across the middle. Wide open. Tyler Rollins makes the catch and carries inside the 35 to the 34-yard line and has another Tiger first down.
Good job there also of the Tiger line and backs on that fake draw play, picking up the blitz.
So the Tigers moving the football here. 1st and 10 Marshfield at the Menomonie 34-yard line. Stamen comes in. He'll play in the shotgun with 2 receivers on either side. Chris gets the snap. Back to pass, being rushed. Now throw to the near sideline. The ball caught by Padron. He's then dropped immediately at the 27-yard line. Gain of 7 on that play. Tigers gain 7 on that pass play. Creates 2nd and 3 for Marshfield at the Menomonie 27-yard line. Ashbeck now playing quarterback with Dolezal and Shoup in the eye. Padron near side, Lysecki on the far side. Rollins tight end on the near side. Fake handoff. Ashbeck gets hit in the backfield as Dolezal tried to block the charging defensive end and shoved him right into Ashbeck back at the 36-yard line. 3rd quarterback sack for Menomonie tonight, a loss of 9 on that play. Creates a 3rd third down, third and about 12 for the Tigers. Have to get to the 25 for the first down. Stamen in the shotgun, double slot formation. Chris drops the snap, picks it back up, and heaves it down the near sideline for Padron, who dives and makes the catch, I believe. He was also bumped, and we have 2 flags down on the play. Apparently Padron did not grab it. It looked like he had caught the ball. Now maybe he did, because they're going to mark the ball. Let's see. Doesn't really matter. It will be interference here on Menomonie.
Yeah, Menomonie player grabbed a hold of the defender of the receiver there for Marshfield, Padron, as he turned on the play, so he impeded his progress. That could either be called pass interference or even defensive holding.
And we'll see how the officials call it. Either way, it'll be a 15-yard walk-off. The ball goes to the 21 and gives Marshfield the first down.
Yep, interference call.
First and 10 Tigers, Menomonie 21. High backfield. Ashbeck back into play quarterback. Tigers trail 22-0, 8:35 left in the fourth quarter. Ashbeck up under center. And he'll give to Van Tassel a big hold to the outside. He breaks the tackle at the 15. He's at the 10. There's a flag down. Van Tassel in the end zone. However, there's a flag down in the secondary. Flag down in the secondary.
Well, Van Tassel got a very good block by Dolezal, who was driving his man. But there was a Tiger receiver downfield also making a block, and I think one of those two is going to get called for a grab. I don't think Dolezal did. He did a real nice job at a face mask to face mask block in the hole.
Now the Tigers get the ball in the end zone, but for naught, as yardage is marked off. The ball comes back to the 21-yard line, which is the original line of scrimmage. It's first and about 9.5. Stamen at quarterback. Officials step in to stop play once again. Marshall and Padron, the wideouts on this play, but the officials first of all want to confer quickly. By the way, our PATs this evening, sponsored by Wheelers of Marshfield, make it a point to see them for an oil change every 3,000 miles. Split backfield behind Stamen. He wants to pass the football, rolls near side, fires for Marshall over his head at the goal line, and a flag goes down again.
Oh, that might have been they're going to call pass interference. He got hit to the head there as he went for that ball. That was very close play.
But the Tigers may get some yardage on this play once again. Pass interference against Menomonie. And that should move the football to about the 11-yard line. Couple of big interference calls against Menomonie on this drive, which began on the 9-yard line, and after a couple of penalties against Marshfield, the Tigers actually had the ball on their own 2, and they've now driven to the Menomonie 11. Pass interference against Menomonie.
Kind of odd, they're going to spot the ball at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, you're right, Dale.
I would have thought that would have been half the distance there.
First and 10, Marshfield. Ashbeck to Van Tassel, straight ahead to the 10-yard line.
Fumble.
He drops the football near the 5-yard line. The officials will unpile. There was a Tiger in the area, and Menomonie has the football. Menomonie takes over at their own 5-yard line. The Tigers suffer their 5th turnover of this contest. And just when their offense was starting to click, Marshfield loses possession once again.
Once again, left off tackle play. Dolezal with a very nice block in the hole on a linebacker. But when Van Tassel cut back, he cut towards the middle, was hit, and the ball slid around towards his back, and he wasn't able to hang on to it and dropped it.
So it's Menomonie football on about their own 7-yard line. 8 minutes left. Tigers trail 22-0. On first down, the handoff goes to Neeb, who bounces out to about the 9-yard line.
I saw somebody's head snap back in there on some contact. It's way down on the far side of the field. I didn't catch numbers there, but some good popping going on that play.
No, Marshfield was certainly out hit early in the ball game. The Tigers, looks like, Dale, they're trying to play some more physical football here in the second half.
I think these kids are also just getting a little bit more, getting some of those first game nerves as varsity players out also.
Second and about 6 for Menomonie at their own 9. Jaycott comes wide to the near side. Handoff goes to White, and he gets hit at the 10-yard line. Grabbed one-on-one by Ross Hazeroat, and stopped right on the 10.
Hazeroat, a little early on, Tigers were getting blown around inside, but Hazeroat's been doing a nice job in this half in particular, stepping up and filling some holes.
All-conference honorable mention player as a junior last season. 3rd down now for Menomonie, 3rd and about 5 at their own 10-yard line. Menomonie in no hurry. Now they break the huddle. Neeb lines up as the tailback. And Stokey back to pass, going deep down the far sideline for Jaycott, over his head, incomplete. One-on-one on the far sideline with Dan Knitsch, threw the ball by both, incomplete. And it will be 3 and out for Menomonie. Our insurance points of the game tonight, a service of Randy Lemoyne, your American Family Insurance agent in Marshfield. Brad Dolezal back in deep safety for the Tigers at midfield. Didier kicking from the Menomonie end zone. Gets a good snap. And here's the kick, a high floater. Dolezal right on the 50. Straight ahead, 45, 40, 35, 30, down the near sideline, the 20, the 15-yard line, spun down around the 12. Fine return by Brad Dolezal. The Tigers have very good field position. 1st and 10 Marshfield at the Menomonie 12-yard line.
Good job there of Dolezal stepping up after he caught that and cutting towards this near sideline, finding a seam and showing a very nice burst and acceleration on that play.
Tigers put the ball in play. They'll mark it actually at the 11. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Menomonie 11. Menomonie leads 22-0. 6:25 left in regulation. Dolezal and Van Tassel in the eye. Van Tassel straight ahead, makes some tackles and carries down to about the 8-yard line. That punt return, we almost had a boomerang touchdown, which is sponsored this year by Festival Foods and their boomerang theory. Every decision they make is based on bringing you, the customer, back to their store.
Boy, Dolezal took on that linebacker, Brent Stout, who came across that time, and there was a big collision there. Dolezal got the worst of that one.
2nd and 7 Tigers at the Menomonie 8. And Ashbeck back to pass, rolling far side. He'll keep it himself. He's at the 5-yard line, near the goal line, and Elliott near the goal line gets in for the touchdown. Elliott Ashbeck scores the Tigers' first touchdown of the season on an 8-yard run to cap a 2-play, 11-yard scoring drive, and Marshfield now trails 22-6. Gus Utek now comes in the ball game to attempt the PAT. Elliott Ashbeck is the holder. Ball is down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is up, and it is good. Our PAT's a service of Wheelers of Marshfield, where their service department is open Saturdays between 7:30 and 6. 5:48 remaining in regulation. Marshfield now trails 22-7. More football coming up in just a moment.
So you're the new girl.
Yes.
That's cute. Go on in.
Mr. Felsnikoff, thank you for overlooking my credit score. I was in college and I charged up a whole bunch of things that I really couldn't afford. Who knew employers checked that?
Hey kid, I don't credit check you. You don't credit check me. Capiche? And sometimes it floods in here. You might want to start wearing boots.
Potential employers can check your credit. Don't let your bad credit put you in a bad job.
Well, the Marshfield Tigers finally on the scoreboard on the 8-yard touchdown run by Elliott Ashbeck. Tigers down 22-7. Our kickoff, a service of Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport of Marshfield.
And that score is set up by some good special teams work by the Tigers tonight.
And Gus Utek will kick off once again for Marshfield. Mitch Cervenka back in deep safety for Menomonie, here's an onside kick, bobbled by a Menomonie man at the 43-yard line, but he then falls on it. And the Indians take over from that spot. Menomonie football at their own 43. Midway through the fourth quarter, Marshfield trails 22-7.
Give that Marshfield line some credit also on the score, opening up some nice holes. Even on the drive previous to that, where Von Tassel fumbled the ball, there were some nice holes off tackle. Quarterback's getting some time to throw.
They played better in the second half. On first down, Neeb gets a big hit at the line of scrimmage from Dylan Reggie again.
Yeah.
Man, Dylan came to play tonight. No gain for Neeb on that carry. 2nd and 10 for Menomonie at their own 44. That Tiger offensive line again. Cody Schmitz, Mark Posh, Trevor Barth, Brandon Sukamel, and James Bailey. We salute them along with the folks at Marshfield Utilities, those hardworking linemen, because it's a lineman who helps supply the power to make it all work. Here's a pitch play. Neeb coming near side, cuts up to the 50-yard line. Grab from behind, knocked down at the Marshfield 47. Very close to a first down for Menomonie. Neeb might be about a half-yard shy. Third and less than 1 for Menomonie at the Tiger 47-yard line. Power I backfield, White back in a tailback. And the handoff goes to the fullback Hoagland, who won't get very far. He's pushed back from the 46-yard line.
Getting a good spot, though.
Yeah, I think
accurate
he is.
spot. He's leaned over the line of scrimmage. He should have the first down by about a half a yard, I think, Gene.
Well, let's see. They may have moved it actually back, I think they did. They may look for a measurement here. Yep, I think they're going to have a measurement here.
They're using the spot by the official on this side over here.
Once again, Tiger football tonight, a service of Marshfield Bus Service. If you're planning a trip, get out of town with Marshfield Bus Service. Chains are coming out. And it looks like they will have the first down by the nose of the football. 1st and 10 for Menomonie. At the Tiger 46, we have 4:35 remaining in regulation. And the Tigers trail 22-7. Tigers starting to look a bit better here in the second half after a sluggish start, playing more physical football.
Well, that's the main thing, Gene. You want your team to show up. You want your team to be ready to hit. And in the first half, they got pushed around pretty good on offense and defense by Menomonie. Much more aggressive in the second half.
High backfield here. Neeb back in at tailback. Stokey at quarterback. He's taking his time watching that back judge. Now the Indian shift. Pitch play to Neeb, getting outside to the far side. Gets hit by Hazeroat, spins away and dives out of bounds near the 36-yard line, near the first down marker. About 10 yards on that run by Neeb.
Tell you what, I was watching Reggie on that play, and he shed a blocker, threw him to the ground, and he, even though he was certainly outmatched speed-wise, he was still hustling, trying to get to the outside and even downfield to try to help on the tackle. You like to see those interior linemen, especially at this point of the game, moving and hustling like that. Nice job.
Going to mark Neeb out of bounds at the 39, gain of 8. 2nd and 2 for Menomonie. Nelson, the quarterback, turns, gives to White, and he's pulled down going through the line. Could be close to the first down, but stopped by Dylan Peterson.
Got a knee injury.
Yep. There is a Menomonie man down. One of their interior linemen is down. That's Ben Danovsky, one of their returning all-conference players.
Yeah, he's done a nice job blocking tonight, and he went down immediately and grabbed his knee.
And he gets up and he'll walk off the field under his own power. White gets about 2 on that play to the 37, and he'll be just shy of the first down marker. 3rd and less than 1 for Menomonie at the Tiger 37. Clock starts to roll once again. 3:50 remaining in regulation. White still in a tailback with Nelson playing quarterback. Nope, that's Stokey in a quarterback. Checking with that back judge. See when he starts his time count. Now he gets set. And he wants to pass the football. Steps up to the far side, being rushed now, gets away from some tacklers, then gets spun down along the far sideline. And taken down around the 39-yard line.
46. I'm having trouble finding my numbers here.
Yeah, we have alphabetical rosters this year rather than numericals. We're going to look all the way through the roster to find out who that guy is. I think that's Zillman, the sophomore.